Let's take a look at solving rational expressions. There are a few ways to do this, but I think a nice way to go through this is to get rid of these fractions as soon as possible. And the way I can do that is by finding a least common multiple of all of my denominators. In this case, if I'm looking at t plus 8 and t plus 3, if I multiply everything by t plus 8, t plus 3, on the top and the bottom, I'm keeping things balanced here. So this first expression, I'm adding this t minus 4. And I'm watching my denominator here, so I multiplied this piece by t plus 8, t plus 3. I need to do the same for the second piece. T plus 8, t plus 3. And I need to keep things balanced, so I either need to have these same things starting to show up in the bottom, or I need to multiply the other side by it too. So let's multiply the other side by t plus 8, t plus 3 as well. Let's really take stock of what we did here. So I have added a component to each side here that makes things look messier. And it will get messier for just a second, but it'll get nicer after this next step. This common denominator of t plus 8, t plus 3, all of these pieces have that in common. So when I'm multiplying everything, I'm keeping it balanced. If I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other. So I'm keeping it balanced. I'm going to get something that looks like this. And what's nice about this is there's a lot of cancellation I can do for some of these pieces. T plus 8 cancels for the first one, leaving me with t plus 3 and t minus 4. The t plus 3 cancels for this second piece. That leaves me with 2t plus 8. And on this other side, nothing cancels, bit of a bummer. I still have t plus 8, t plus 3. But you know what? I don't have fractions, and I'm really happy that I don't have fractions. I'm going to multiply things out and then combine like terms. So I'm doing t times t, t squared. T times negative 4, that's negative 4t. 3 times t, 3t. 3 times negative 4, negative 12. I've got 2 times t, that's 2t. I've got 2 times 8, that's 16. I've got negative 4 times whatever I get when I multiply this out. I like to put the negative 4 on the outside and multiply the messier part first. T times t gives me t squared. T times 3 gives me 3t. 8 times t is 8t. And 8 times 3 is 24. I'm going to combine like terms. I've got t squared on its own over here. Minus 4t plus 3t puts me at negative 1t. Negative 1 plus 2 is going to put me at a positive 1t, or just t. Negative 12 plus 6, 16, it's going to give me positive 4. On the other side, I'm multiplying out this negative 4 to each of those components. I'm going to have negative 4t squared. I'm going to have minus 12t. Negative 4 times the 8 is going to be minus 32t. Negative 4 times the 24 is going to be minus 96. I might want to combine like terms here before proceeding. So minus 12 minus another 32, that's going to put me at minus 44t. And I still have this minus 96. I'm going to pull everything I have on this right side over to the left. I'm going to try to set this thing equal to 0. So I'm going to add 4t squared to this existing t squared. That's going to give me 5 of those t squareds. I'm going to add 44t to my 1t. That's going to give me 45t. I'm going to add 96 to the 4 to give me 100. So I've added all of these pieces over. I have nothing left on the right side. This is equal to 0. Now I have a quadratic equaling 0, so I'm going to solve this thing by factoring. First thing I notice is that 5 goes into everything. 5 times t squared is 5t squared. 5 times 9t is 45t. And 5 times 20 is 100. I'm going to divide both sides by 5. Dividing 0 by 5 is still just going to be 0. So dividing this by 5 cancels. 5 leaves me with t squared plus 9t plus 20 equals 0 over 5, or just 0. I'm going to try to factor this t squared plus 9t plus 20. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give me 20 but add to give me 9. 4 times 5 gives me 20. 4 plus 5 gives me 9. I'm going to set each of these pieces equal to 0 and solve. So this tells me I have t plus 4 equals 0, or I've got t plus 5 equals 0. I'm going to solve by subtracting over the 4. T equals -4, or I'm going to subtract this negative over to the other side. So this is 0 minus 5, or -5. So my final answer set here, I have two answers. I have -4, -5. Now I picked one that I knew was going to be a little bit messier, just so you can see what that mess looks like. But the general strategy for any sort of rational expression is you're going to multiply both sides by the least common multiple. And that's going to be the stuff that you're finding in the denominator. So in this case, it was just t plus 8, t plus 3. And you're going to do that for every single term on both sides of that equal sign to keep things balanced. Once you've simplified, you usually end up with a pretty nice expression that you can factor or use some other techniques to solve. But if you don't like fractions, when solving, get rid of those fractions as soon as possible.